I'm going to be going over the third major line, which is the heart line. And the heart line has two factors which it is involved with. One is the emotional well being of somebody, emotionally how they feel. And the second is if there's any physical ailments to the heart or blood system or blood pressure or whatever. So it can be physical and it can be emotional. Well, you could say the same for the headline, which can go through stress and have problems and indicate a weakness, and yet it could also be an injury to the head, face, eyes, nose, throat, whatever. So they both have indications of both of those. But actually, the head and the heart lines are very much associated with each other, particularly in the way they sometimes hook up to each other. Now, I'm going to go over a little bit of a chart now. Now, this shows what they call a Jupiterian headline, and what makes heartline, excuse me, and what makes it Jupiterian is the beginning of the line starts at the Jupiter finger, which is the index finger, and then from there it travels across the body of the palm, and when it's a Jupiterian heart line like that, the person has a lot of pride in relationships. They would only be involved with somebody that they're proud of, either proud to be seen or proud to be with or proud to be married to or whatever. But also, they would be also attracted to somebody that would have a Jupiterian traits, which is Sagittarius or March or Pisces, or somebody born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th day of any one of the 12 months. Now, the second thing we're going to go over is when you have a combined head, heart, and lifeline. In other words, they're all attached. And that's a single-minded, intense person. Now I'm going to turn over my little paper. I made a little drawing. And there's one odd little thing that isn't about 1 out of 100 hands, and that's a combined head and heart line. It's only one line. You don't see both, and that again is a very intense person. But that you only see about 1 out of 100 hands, and they used to call it a simian line, but I think in modern days they changed that for better semantics. Now, when you see the heart line get pulled downward towards the headline, because this is the lifeline, the round line, and then you have your headline, you have your heart line, it means that the head rules the heart. Now, if the headline gets pulled up towards the heart line, that means the heart rules the head. So it's the exact opposite. Now, if the heart line starts under Saturn, which is your middle finger, first of all, it's more of a selfish type of love. The person mainly tries to gratify themselves, but also they tend to be a little they like a little isolation in their own space, and Saturnians sometimes have they have melancholy to a large extent. They sometimes brood over things, but they're very good students. They would be drawn towards people with Saturn traits, which are January a Capricorn, February or Aquarius in the negative form of Saturn, a Saturnian, and people born on the 8th, 17th, or 26th day of any one of the 12 months. Now, if you see a heart line that's all chained like this, but there's nothing on the lifeline to indicate a physical ailment, usually it means that the person has very inconsistent emotions. Now, when the heart line goes right across the whole hand, it means that the person could be very possessive. and they feel everything emotionally. A shorter heart line, they're less affected than somebody with a long heart line. They're less affected emotionally. So when you see somebody with a long heart line and it's a Jupiter heart line or whatever, you know the person has intense emotions and a lot of pride about their relationships. Now, like I said before, and this is a good example with the lines I drew here, when you see the heart line displaced and moved towards the head line, the head controls the heart, and it's called a displaced heart line. Now, with health, if you see a lot of islands are fraying on the heart line, and you find it about the same age span, there's something on the lifeline, that's an indicator that there's a physical problem to the heart or blood system or blood pressure or whatever. And the age is always taken from where the heart line and the headline or whatever starts at the lifeline and goes outward towards the pinky. So this would be 0, and this would be 20, and then 30, and then 50, and so forth. So the age is taken from the thumb down for the lifeline, from the lifeline across for the headline. In other words, this would be 0, maybe 20, and 30, and 40, and 50, and 60, and so forth. And it's the same way with the heart line. You get the age starting with the index finger or Jupiter outward towards the pinky. And the more you go towards the pinky, the older the person's situation is. Now, I was saying before, a heart line that's like real chain like this, but there's nothing on the lifeline. They have very inconsistent emotions, and sometimes the person is a very stressed out person. Now, if a branch goes from the heart line towards different fingers, like if it goes towards Jupiter, the index finger, there would be drawn towards Sagittarius or Pisces type of people, and people born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th of the month. If a branch from the heart line goes right towards Saturn, it means that they would be drawn towards January Capricorn people, as well as February or Aquarius people, and those born on the 8th, 17th, or 26th day of any one of the 12 months. Now, if a branch goes towards Apollo, which is the sun, it would be the first house of Leo, of the sun, which is Leo. And again, it could be February Aquarius. And people born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 28th day of any month. Now, the different influences also have to do with letters too. Jupiter could be somebody with a C or an L letter. The Saturn could be an H, or the person has a Q in their name someplace, or a Z in their name. And Apollo, the sun, would be AJ or an S initial. Sometimes when you have these odd letters like Z or Q, they could just be in the name. But this is the story of the heart line. It's one of the major lines of the hand. It has a lot to do with emotions, and it could have to do with the physical condition of the heart and the blood system as well. But it's always good to keep in mind. I always make these little charts as well as try to explain things and get some view on it. But like I said, a combined head and heart and lifeline makes a person single-minded, and is what they call a simian line, which is the heart line and the headline are just one line. It's found in about 1 out of 100 people. That's the statistics on it. And I'm going to go on to some more. Take care.